Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Global Digitalization. My title can be superimposed infinitely. Chapter 31. Schwanwo Wolfhawk X14 has been killed. Get kill value. 147,392 points. Killing value. What is this? Su Mu muttered. The keystone of the killing secret realm is more precious, and he didn't find too many strategies. Yuan Lianyu's eyes lit up. This is the first time you came in. Su Mu nodded. Yuan Lianyu was overjoyed. This, Mr. Li Gui, the killing value is a unique value in the killing secret realm. You can get it by killing monsters or finding some special creations. The killing value can be converted into a secret realm score. The higher the score, the better the reward. In addition to this, there is another use. Su Mu was curious. Another use? Yes, Yuan Lianyu said. If the killing value is taken out of the dungeon, it can be used as a backup storage of experience value. It can be taken out at any time and converted into experience at a ratio of 1:1. Su Mu suddenly realized, that's it. No wonder so many people have a soft spot for the killing secret realm, and they try their best to send their juniors into it. The purpose is to reserve the killing value at the same time when brushing the equipment, and take it out for use when needed. Just think about it, if in a battle of equal strength, one side suddenly rises to 10 levels on the spot, it will definitely cause unexpected consequences. Su Mu had an idea in mind. No wonder it's called the killing secret realm. Okay, then start spawning monsters. When on the side suddenly said, hey, the masked person. Why don't we hire you and take us to kill the master boss? Su Mu glanced at her and didn't speak. When dissatisfied. Did you hear that? I'm afraid you don't know what the existence of my Wen family is, it's the Longdu family. You help us score, it will definitely benefit you later. Yuan Lianyu immediately blamed. How can I talk? It is already my honor to know this Mr. Li Gui, how can I ask for it? Wen said arrogantly. Lianyu, what are you afraid of? He wants to kill monsters anyway, so what if he helps us kill a few? Su Mu made a plan, turned around and left. Wen hurriedly shouted, hey, that grimace, why are you running? I have to brush anyway, so what if you bring the two of us? Hey, talk to you. With a kick on Su Mu's feet, her figure has rushed out like lightning. Wen stomped her feet angrily. How can this be? A man, why care about a woman? She forgot about the pain after her scar healed, she was out of danger, and now she is starting to be squeamish again. Yuan Lianyu thought of just now. It was Wen who said that it was easy to enter the mobs, and encouraged her teammates to enter the monster's lair. But now the matter is a foregone conclusion, and people are dead, so it is useless to blame. Yuan Lianyu had no choice but to say, okay, don't talk anymore, let's get to the safe zone, let's leave quickly. At this moment, a small team ran towards this side. There was a pillar of fire here just now, did you see it? The captain asked. Hey, two beauties, do you need help? Hey, we are blessed. A skinny man said with a smile. Yuan Lianyu didn't want to respond, but Wen had already leaned forward enchantingly. Oh, big brothers, our teammates are all dead, can you take us with you? The thin man immediately squinted and said, of course, if the beauty speaks, how can I not obey? Yuan Lianyu was a little dissatisfied. No matter how they were teammates who had been through for a while, how could they die so easily? But she is injured now, and she will definitely not be able to get out by her own strength. I can only sigh. Thank you, please take us to a safe area, and there will be a big thank you afterwards. I don't need any thanks, beauty, you just need to help me. Halfway through the thin man's words, the captain next to him bumped him with an elbow. Shish, take it to a safe area first, don't worry. Su Mu quickly forgot the little episode just now, and he also tried the legendary spell of destroying the world and burning prison for the first time. Sure enough, once in the soul, this kind of level 10 mob, even if it is an elite, cannot withstand a move. Roar, a huge tiger covered in vines jumped out, and it was a sprint towards Su Mu. Slash quickly, Su Mu raised his hand and hit a skill, splitting 5 swords in an instant. -5121. A few balls of blood burst out from the vine tiger's body, but it didn't feel any pain at all, and it slashed off with one paw. The melee skill has become a shortcoming instead. It seems that I want to change my job to a mage. Su Mu thought while easily dodging the claw attack. Boom! The tiger hit the ground with one paw, and the forceful blow was turned around easily. It also froze for half a second before chasing after it. With the passivity of the God King's senses, Su Mu's combat awareness has been greatly improved. Especially in close combat, he can instinctively dodge an attack, and he is very smooth. Don't worry, you can use the master's skills first, and then you may encounter the title of strengthening close combat. Su Mu kept dodging the tiger's attack, stuck his CD and slashed quickly a few times, and finally killed him. Ow! The vine tiger fell to the ground unwillingly, and its body fell apart under the impact of falling to the ground. Su Mu saw that its body was covered with vines, like tangled hair, looking very disheveled. It's disgusting. It looks like the tiger is parasitized by the vine, but it just looks alive. Su Mu was thinking, when he heard the beep. Parasitic Fujitora has been killed. Get kill value. 9,912 points. Get life potion, bronze. Ding. Crazy God Greed has taken effect. Life potion, bronze. Critical strike becomes advanced life potion, silver. Su Mu held the life potion that exploded, and didn't have much joy. He has the passive skill of the undead, and he will automatically recover blood every second. The life potion is temporarily unavailable. Continue to spawn monsters. Su Mu continued to move forward, jumping out all kinds of strange monsters along the way. Slash quickly. Minus 5,734. Cleave. Minus 782. Shadow attack. Minus 999. Burn the world and burn the prison. Minus 54,120. Su Mu killed the past all the way, constantly harvesting various potions. When he saw a deserted city ahead, he finally met the first boss. An identification technique was thrown up. Sand Turtle Dragon, Master Boss, Level, Skills, Earthquake Regret, Earth Slam, Bite, Hard. The huge turtle dragon is 10 meters high, like a small building, with 4 legs, a turtle shell, and a snake-like head. It stood on a piece of gravel, turned its head like a snake's neck vigilantly, and stared at Su Mu. This tiny bug brought it a huge sense of threat, which was different from other similar little things. Su Mu also looked up at the turtle dragon in the sand. This is not a turtle dragon, it's obviously a magnified turtle. The sand turtle dragon stood there, eyes as big as windows, fixedly staring at Su Mu, motionless. And Su Mu raised his hand. Genule Jia. Click. A huge bucket-like thunder fell from the sky, piercing through the head of the sand turtle dragon in an instant. It was full of disbelief. Its brain had been completely pierced, and it could only collapse to the ground. The 10-meter-high giant fell, splashing dust all over the sky. Genyu Thunder Tribulation is an epic spell created by the lightning strike ordinary when the Yuanliu wise man is passive. I'm waiting to chant, what are you waiting for? Su Mu approached and saw the prompt. Sand Turtle Dragon Master has been killed, killing value, 26, 9,123 points. Obtain. Spirit Potion Master. Su Mu was about to put away the newly dropped medicine, but found that the backpack was full. Hey, it's troublesome if you don't have space props, you have to prepare well when you go out. Su Mu had no choice but to take out a bottle of primary life potion, ready to drink it with full blood, otherwise it would be a waste. But at this moment, he suddenly thought of something. Su Mu tentatively unscrewed the life potion, and ordered in his mind, devour. Swish. The primary life potion disappeared instantly. Crazy God Gluttony in effect, swallowed, primary life potion, bronze. Maximum health increased by 50 points, and 50 points of blood will be restored every 5 seconds. Su Mu's eyes lit up immediately, it really works. The title of Mad God Gluttony given by Road to Madness can devour items to obtain its effect. The effect of the minor health potion is to restore 50 health and 150 health over 15 seconds afterward. After being devoured, the effect becomes permanent directly. Permanently increase 50 health points, and restore 50 points every 5 seconds. Su Mu was overjoyed. This skill is the big core. He quickly opened the backpack, and there was a dazzling array of medicines in it. Killing monsters just now, dropped the most potions. With Su Mu's current skill set, there is no need for these consumables at all. But if he could swallow the potion and make its temporary effect permanent, it would be different. Potion of Strength. Increases strength by 10 for 20 seconds. Speed Potion. Increases speed by 15% for 8 seconds. Mana Potion. Temporarily increases mana by 100 for 1 minute. Advanced Vitality Pill. Stamina recovery speed is accelerated by 50% for 15 seconds. Su Mu quickly activated his skills. Crazy God Gluttony. Ding. Strength increased by 10 points. Agility increased by 3 points. Blunt weapon damage increased by 25 points. Recover 7 points of mana per second. Physical recovery speed increased by 50%. The potions in the backpack disappeared one by one, and all became Su Mu's passive attributes. The effects of temporarily increasing attributes and recovery speed have all become permanent attributes. After devouring all the potions, Su Mu glanced at the attributes. Strength increased by 98 points, agility by 82 points, and spirit by 60 points. Health increased by 475 and mana increased by 350. Restores 300 health every 5 seconds and 200 mana every 5 seconds. Su Mu is overjoyed. This attribute is amazing. He walked all the way normally, and killed the monsters on the way, so he added so many attributes. If you focus on killing monsters, wouldn't it be? By the way, there are still things. Su Mu thought for a while, and took off the military-style longsword and Wujin soft armor that hadn't been used for a long time. Gluttony. Devour. Ding. The 2 pieces of equipment also disappeared immediately, turning into a ball of warm current into Su Mu's body. Strength plus 10, agility plus 5, stamina plus 20, armor plus 20. Acquired characteristics. Sharpness, plus 5% damage to flesh and blood creatures, plus 5% damage to joints. Acquired features. Cushioning. With a certain cushioning capacity, it can absorb weak impacts. Su Mu was ecstatic. Sure enough, even equipment can be devoured. The attributes given by equipment are much stronger than potions, and they also have characteristics or special effects. If they can all become passive according to the one attribute, it can also solve a big problem. Although people can wear many pieces of clothing at one time, they cannot wear many pieces of equipment at one time. Slightly more advanced equipment will be enchanted or have special effects, which involves restrictions on the complexity of enchanting. If a person wears too much magic equipment and complicated attributes, they will affect each other and become a 1+12 situation. This made many Lord of the Rings who dreamed of wearing 23 enchanted rings, or professionals who hung dozens of large gold chains, give up this idea. Generally speaking, life professions, such as blacksmiths, enchanters, blacksmiths, and magic pattern masters, have higher enchanting complexity and can wear more magic equipment. But these professionals don't need to wear so much advanced equipment. As for combat professionals, they need various combat attributes, but they can only have a few. Su Mu couldn't help feeling overwhelmed. If he can even devour the equipment, he doesn't need to think about replacing the equipment at all, he just needs to devour the replaced things. However, Su Mu doesn't intend to devour powerful equipment right now. He hasn't figured out the effect of these things, so he can take it easy. We must kill monsters as soon as possible. Su Mu looked at the ruins of the city in the distance with earnest eyes. As long as you keep spawning monsters and dropping things, whether it's potions or equipment, they can be directly converted into attributes. Moreover, killing points can also be exchanged for ratings, or experience after changing jobs. Su Mu regained his composure, quickened his pace, and quickly approached the city. And just after he left for a while, a group of people also passed by here. Captain, look, one person shouted excitedly. Captain Lu Jia held Wen Wen in his arms, looked over, and was startled. What? It's a sand turtle. Wen Wen leaned in Lu Jia's arms, and raised her head when she heard the voice. Brother Jia, what is a sand turtle dragon? Lu Jia's expression changed. It's a master-level boss, and among bosses of the same level, it can be regarded as the most resistant to beating. Even if we meet, we can't break the defense at all, we can only walk around. Yuan Lianyu felt sad when she heard his words. Their team thinks they are all good players, and their goal is to defeat the master boss. But now seeing the fallen giant that is still 3 or 4 meters high, I really don't know where to start. It was because of her incomplete planning that led to the group's destruction. Wen was heartless, just surprised. Who did this? The head was pierced with one blow, and the brain is still bleeding. It doesn't seem long. Lu Jia also nodded. Yes, the skull is not only the thickest, but the boss also has passive defense magic, and it was penetrated by one blow. There were not many traces of battle at the scene, and this man took down the sand turtle dragon in seconds with just one move. Wen thought of the man wearing the ghost mask before, but quickly shook her head. Impossible, he can only kill a few mobs in seconds, what a big deal. Lu Jia heard her talking to herself, and slapped her buttocks with a smirk. What are you talking about? Wen complained. It's nothing, there is a passerby who doesn't show face at all. I want to pay him to help him fight monsters, but he doesn't pay any attention. Lu Jia chuckled. Whoever dares to mess with my sister, if you meet him, see if I won't tear him apart. Wen winked like silk. Brother Jia, thank you. Yuan Lianyu shook her head. Being able to kill small monsters in seconds is not the same thing as a dozen or so elite monsters. But now that she is injured, she also needs the help of Lu Jia's team to get to the safe zone, so it's hard to say anything. You can only make up your mind in your heart, and then draw a clear line. At this time, the person who inspected the sand dragon turtle came back. That's right, there is only one trace of the thunder attribute, and it seems to be a quick move. Lu Jia thought about it. Who has such a great ability? Could it be the holy maiden Qingning? But isn't she using the ice attribute? Why is she still using lightning strikes? Wen asked curiously. Who is Qingning Saintess? Lu Jia said. The Leng family in the northern region has guarded the northern region for 100 years, preventing the Dong clan from entering the Yan League. Saint Qingning is the pride of this generation. In order to become a blockbuster in the college entrance examination, she entered the killing secret as early as 3 months ago. Wen also remembered. The Leng family. I remember I haven't set foot in the Central Plains for decades, right? Lu Jia said. Yes, Patriarch Leng has the idea of extending his hand to the south, but every time he reaches out, he is blocked by other forces. It just so happens that the Holy Maiden of Qingning is a genius that is rare in 100 years, so let her become a blockbuster in the college entrance examination and enter the colleges and universities in the central region. They can also use this to expand their power. Wen exclaimed. This is a conspiracy. The college entrance examination is something that Yanmeng must guarantee, and other forces can't hinder it. That's right, Lu Jia said, but those big shots are none of our business, so let's move on quickly. There is a safe zone in the fallen city ahead, I will send you there, and then. Wen's cheeks blushed. Oh, I hate it. Su Mu went through the desert and entered the ruins of the city. Here is the appearance of an ordinary city. Every building is covered by wind and sand, windows are broken, and occasionally rags are hung on the glass shards, making noise with the wind. The sky is full of yellow sand, very desolate. Just as Su Mu was about to walk in, her footsteps stopped suddenly. Whoosh! In the next instant, a black poisonous needle flew past his eyes. If you take another step forward, the needle will pierce your body. The reaction is quite fast. A gloomy voice came from the ground. Immediately afterwards, a person passed through the yellow sand and rose from the ground as if without a body. It was a man in a tattered black robe and a huge hood, and said sinisterly, "Leave all the equipment, and you can leave alive." Su Mu didn't look at him, but turned to look to the left. There was a masked woman in frayed leather, with a sniper rifle pointed at her head. The feeling is quite sensitive. The man in the tattered black robe said, sensing occupation. How dare you act alone, you really don't know how to live. Put down all the equipment, I, Yin Zhuo, keep my word, and you can leave alive. 2 more people came out from the dark corner, one was carrying a knife, the other was holding a flamethrower, their expressions were unkind, and they didn't look like they would let people go. Su Mu was not in a hurry, but heard a certain word from the other party and asked, "Professionals. Have you changed jobs?" Yin Zhuo was taken aback for a moment, and then laughed loudly. What? You are a rookie. Dare to enter the killing secret realm without changing jobs, you think your life is too long. The people around also laughed. TCH, I thought I could catch a young man from an aristocratic family and get some money, but I didn't expect it to be a newcomer. Dare to enter without changing jobs, can't you be a freshman this year? Hey, let's just kill him. I just stayed in there for a few days. There is no oil in my stomach, so I have added meat. Listening to what they said, Su Mu gradually understood. This killing secret realm only allows people of level 10 to enter, but there is no occupational restriction. These people have obviously changed jobs for a long time, and they have remained at level 10 under pressure of experience. They don't kill monsters in the outside world, and they don't do anything to gain experience. But at the same time, continue to sharpen skills, obtain better equipment, and increase attributes through potions, runes and other means. This is also level 10, and they will be at the top of the food chain. You should know that after changing jobs, you will get exclusive job characteristics and job skills. A level 10 newcomer who has not changed his job can easily be crushed. This is a bit like some games Su Mu played in his previous life, where he could be stuck at a certain level and play PvP to crush ordinary people. And these people are even more despicable. They have obtained the key to the killing secret realm through certain means, and they are here to intercept newcomers. Every time I meet a family, or a newcomer trained by a big force, I can always get a lot of good equipment. Sometimes they also do business such as escorts, but as long as the temptation is high enough, it is not impossible to kill the employer halfway. After hearing this, Su Mu couldn't help sighing. The principal also warned that if you encounter fellow human beings, try to help them as much as possible. I didn't expect that there are villains who specialize in attacking compatriots. Hearing this sentence, Yin Zhuo was even more sure that this was a student, and laughed loudly. Learn what is useless and be stupid. Who would do stupid things without profit? By the way, let me tell you a more shattering fact, this city is full of killer hunters like us. You idiots, I'm afraid it's not enough, ha 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 ha. A group of people hugged their stomachs and laughed wildly. Go, kill him, Chin. There was a crisp sound of unsheathing, and the professional with a long knife jumped and appeared in front of Su Mu. The other person's flamethrower also fired at the same time, and a huge stream of flames rushed to Su Mu's side. At the same moment, the sniper rifle in the distance raised up, and a bullet shot towards Su Mu's forehead. Banyu instant slash, bone burner, lockdown sniper. The last second, they were still laughing wildly. In the next moment, he used the strongest ultimate move. Yin Zhuo showed a sinister smile. In front of this kind of instant ultimate move, no one can be spared. Zilla. Sure enough, the next moment, he heard the sound of flesh being cut. Guan Xin succeeded. His Banyu instant slash is divided into bright half moon and yin half moon. If he only blocks the bright half moon and ignores the yin side, he will be cut into pieces in an instant. Yin Zhuo showed a disdainful expression. It's true that he is a rookie, and several people shot at the same time, so he still took advantage. Looking at the battle situation, he suddenly felt something was wrong. Guan Xin, holding a long knife, stood there, motionless. In the next moment, a line of blood appeared between Guan Xin's eyebrows, which smoothly separated from left to right, and fell into two pieces on the ground. Yin Zhuo's pupils shrank, and the sound of flesh and blood being cut just now came from his companion. There's a problem, screamed the man with the flamethrower. Holding up his weapon, he pushed the button to the maximum and released the flame-breathing ability. Yin Zhuo suddenly saw a crack in his companion's flamethrower, and he could even see the highly concentrated fuel flowing inside. No, don't use skills. It was too late to shout, and the companion had already pressed the trigger, and the flames burst out from the nozzle and the crack in an instant. Rumble. The flamethrower exploded in an instant, and a small mushroom cloud gradually rose up, and the blaster instantly turned into scorched flesh. Yin Zhuo was stunned. Who is it? Who killed Guan Xin? And who broke Lai Chun's injector? Boom, boom, boom. In the distance, there were suddenly several gunshots. Yin Zhuo's face changed. He was naturally familiar with it. It was the sound of the sniper teammate's gun. Boom. The gunfire stopped abruptly, and there was no sound in the distance. The yellow sand blew past, and the ruins of the city became silent again. Only Yin Zhuo and Su Mu were left standing. Su Mu picked up the long knife, studied it twice, and then devoured it. Only then did Yin Zhuo come to his senses, pointing at him and excitedly said, "It's you, you killed my man." Su Mu shrugged. "It's not me." He pointed behind Yin Zhuo. "It is it." Yin Zhuo turned his head and saw a 3-meter tall spider snake. The whole body was like a spider, but the tail was like a poisonous snake with scales and twisted continuously. The two front pincers were like sickles, and they were also stained with the blood of his companions. What the hell is this? Yin Zhuo staggered and fell to the ground. The ferocious head of the spider snake stared at him firmly, bringing great pressure. Being stared at by such a 3-meter-tall giant is really stressful. Su Mu said lightly, "Since you are not good people, there is no psychological burden to kill." "Kill him." Swish. The front pincers of the spider snake's sickle split off instantly. But what was strange was that the sickle passed through Yin Zhuo and directly chopped on the yellow sand. Yin Zhuo was horrified. He saw the other party did not hesitate to attack. His identification technique could only return a series. Knowing that he was definitely not an opponent, he gritted his teeth, and his body turned into a cloud of green smoke, which was blown by the wind and quickly drifted into the distance. The spider snake chased and killed it for dozens of meters, but every time it slashed with the front claws of the sickle, it was like real smoke, and it had no effect. Su Mu beckoned. "Forget it, come back." The spider snake stopped chasing immediately and returned to Su Mu. Su Mu has no spiritual obsession and does not resist killing bad people. But he still tried his best not to do it himself, so he summoned the spider snake. The living level of the spider snake is about 500 or 600. After death, the corpse is a little worse, but it still has the strength of 60 or 70. Although these killer hunters have many skills, their attributes are still level 10 no matter what. The spider snake moved its hands, one at a time. Su Mu used the spider snake for the first time, and it felt quite convenient. He is very obedient, as directed by his arm. Without the order, the spider snake raised its head automatically. Its lifeless eyes kept monitoring its surroundings, observing all directions. Su Mu picked up the equipment on the ground and devoured them one by one with the title of gluttony. These killing hunters are quite poor. Except for weapons, they only have a few bottles of basic potions. Crazy God gluttony has taken effect. Swallowed golden ring moon knife bronze furnace core silver precision projectile rifle silver calm potion bronze primary life potion. Strength plus 3-1, dexterity plus 2-4, spirit plus 2-6, max health plus 120, life regeneration per second plus 2-0. Special effect obtained. Half moon slash. If your slash is half moon, the power will increase by 7%. Acquire special effects. Calmness and concentration. When you hold your breath, the crosshairs increase by 10%. Acquire special effects. Furnace fire. The ability to control flames is increased by 2%. They are all ordinary things. Even if they are special effects, they don't have much effect. They can only be used as attributes. Only guys with flamethrowers, the dropped fire cores, are still useful. Although it only increased the flame control ability by 2%, but before the legendary fire spells, the power is still much improved. Go down and make amends to those who robbed and killed you, and be a good person in your next life. Su Mu cleaned up the scene, estimated the time, and walked in one direction. Fortunately, my profession is a shadow demon, so I can't be harmed by pure physical damage. Yin Zhuo was still terrified in his heart, and kept running towards one place. His professional characteristics, when switching to shadow form, can avoid physical damage, and the cost is to double the elemental damage. What the hell is that kid? Why is he carrying a monster? Yin Zhuo couldn't figure it out, but he also knew that he had kicked the iron board. Those idiots will die when they die. Hurry up and seek refuge with the boss. Some monsters have entered the killing realm, so we can't stay here any longer. Yin Zhuo shuttled through the ruins of the city in the form of smoke, and soon arrived at the entrance of a supermarket that was still intact. He turned into a human form, pushed the door open and entered. It's not good. Brother Dao, something serious happened. There are more than 20 people here, all of them have stern eyes, and they don't seem like stubble. Soon, a man with a scar on his face came out. What's going on? A monster entered the killing secret realm. Its level cannot be seen, but it was very strong. All my subordinates died in an instant. Yin Zhuo quickly explained what happened. At the end, he said, Brother Dao, do me a favor, take me to a safe place, I want to go back to Blue Star. Brother Dao stroked his chin, thinking a little, a young man who hasn't changed his job, and still has a bodyguard. It sounds interesting. It must be a child of a big family, there must be something good on him. If you make a fortune, we will make a lot of money. Yin Zhuo said anxiously. Brother Dao, no way. That monster is too strong, I can't keep up with its speed, and killed Guanxin and the others with one move. HMPH, idiot. Brother Dao stood up and kicked Yin Zhuo away. Just those trash, they will die if they die. You didn't see my number 25, would you be afraid of him alone? The people around also laughed loudly. Yin Zhuo, you have become more and more timid after changing your job to Shadow Demon Queen. Ha ha ha, no matter how powerful his bodyguard is, he is alone. There are so many of us, are we afraid of him alone? That's right, he's only one person, and no matter what, he's only at level 10. As long as he's under control, the bodyguards will also throw his hands at you. Brother Dao showed arrogance. Yin Zhuo, lead the way and find that kid. The killing secret realm is special, and those who can bring bodyguards in must have something good on them. Get rich, just watch this wave. Just as a group of people were talking boldly, the door of the supermarket was pushed open, and wind and sand poured in. No need, I'm here. Su Mu raised her hand and retracted the eye of nothingness that had been following her. Brother Dao was taken aback for a moment, and then he was overjoyed. Ha ha ha, Fat Sheep came to the door by himself. Yin Zhuo's complexion changed drastically. You follow me. Su Mu also didn't hide it. If you don't let you go, how can you find the lair? Yin Zhuo wanted to say something else, but Brother Dao stopped him. It's okay, he will deliver it to your door, so you don't have to look for it. Boy, if you are sensible, hand over your equipment, props, potions, and special supplies obediently, and I can make you die happily. A dark-skinned person next to him smiled strangely. The one with thin skin and tender flesh must be a kid from a rich family, for example, leave it to me, he he he. Su Mu's nose twitched. How can you tell a rich kid? However, with the rise of his attributes, he was recovering blood every second. His health is full, and those extra vitality are constantly improving his physique, removing toxins, and repairing hidden injuries and hidden diseases. This also made Su Mu look much better than before, and also a lot more handsome. Brother Dao waved his hand. Okay, don't talk nonsense, catch this fat sheep for me first. As soon as the words fell, the two fighters jumped up and attacked the upper and lower lanes at the same time. Tiger embrace, strangle and capture. Their eyes were fierce, and they were going to catch this kid. Don't, Yin Zhuo shouted. Brother Dao smiled and said, it's okay, they have a count, that kid can't die. Yin Zhuo was in a hurry. No. Our people are going to die. Bang, bang. The moment the two fighters landed on the ground, their feet softened and they fell straight to the ground. What? Brother Dao was shocked. And as the fighters fell to the ground, their bodies were also smashed to pieces, and their limbs and heads were separated from their bodies. Apparently, they were cut into several pieces while they were still in the air. For a moment, the entire space was silent, leaving only the sound of jointed limbs walking on the ground. Click, click, click. The spider snake stepped out from behind Su Mu, stepping on the blood. Brother Dao was stunned, and said in a low voice, why don't you say, his bodyguard is so strong? I told you, you didn't believe me. Yin Zhuo covered his face, his eyes full of despair. It's over. Swish swish swish. What followed was a massacre. In the ruins of the supermarket, countless types of attacks erupted in an instant. Magic, firearms, melee, curses. Countless skills hit the spider snake, but the opponent ignored it, braving the hail of bullets, and killed the crowd with one blow. Chua chua chua. For a while, the amputated limbs were wasteful, and the blood spattered everywhere. Regardless of the defensive magic or the strong shield, in front of the spider snake's level 70 attributes, they were easily crushed, and they couldn't stop it for even a second. That kid. Catch that kid. Someone yelled, catch that kid, even this monster dare not do it. Immediately, someone rushed up, trying to attack Su Mu in a detour. Falling spear. A man raised his spear, aimed at the right moment, and stabbed at Su Mu suddenly. Now that monster is slaughtering his teammates, it is more than 10 meters away from here, which is enough to control that kid. The spearman showed a triumphant smile, charged up his strength, and stabbed with a single shot. The spearman's smile stiffened. He suddenly found that he was fixed in the air, unable to move at all. And the boy on the opposite side was playing with the ring on his hand. So that's how it is, that's what controlling salt is all about. The salt and iron ring in Suemu's hand glowed faintly, and the unpretentious appearance looked low-key and luxurious under the cover of light. Ring of salt and iron, skill master of ocean currents. Manipulate or strengthen the salt within 100 meters, no cooldown time, the effect depends on the spirit. Being able to control the salt in the human body also means controlling the whole person. If it spreads out, all living things can be controlled. Surprise filled Suemu's heart. As expected of the Abyss Mage Secret Realm, the reward of SSS rating. Simple in description but powerful in effect. This ring can control the chlorine and sodium ions in the human body. The simplest usage is to give it power, as a control skill. Or simply pull it out, causing the osmotic pressure in the opponent's body to become unbalanced, coma or death. However, this skill needs to determine the mental attributes of both parties, and whether they have protective skills, it depends on the specific situation. But anyway, it is a very powerful skill. The spearman was fixed in the air, with a look of disbelief and despair. Swish! The spider snake had returned to defense, and cut off his head with a scythe. The scene suddenly became deserted, and only a few people were left standing. Brother Dao's eyes were red, and he roared angrily, "Come on, get rid of that kid, get rid of," cough. He suddenly grabbed his throat with both hands, and soon lost his strength due to the pressure on the nerves, and fell to his knees. Suemu raised his hand, and the skill lord of ocean current of the ring of salt and iron was activated, instantly controlling everyone in the room. Kill them. The spider snake approached quickly, raised the knife and dropped it, and more than 20 bandits died one after another. Suemu let go of the controls and began to collect supplies on the ground. After devouring all the equipment that could be seen, Suemu's various attributes increased by more than 200 points. Judging from the panel alone, he has surpassed people of the same level by nearly 10 times. And what makes Suemu stronger is not the attribute panel, but those big skills that have been strengthened to the point of abnormality. He couldn't help being speechless. Hiss, this attribute has been added too much. It's better to do this, while killing monsters and thieves at the same time. He's not a good person anyway, and it wasn't me who did it, it was the spider snake who did it, isn't it an exaggeration? Suemu began to walk in the deserted city with the spider snake. The haggard ratman appears. Burn the world and burn the prison. A white monkey appeared. Burn the world and burn the prison. The yellow sand demon spirit appeared. Burn the world and burn the prison. Suemu was walking in the city, only to realize that the place is not silent, but full of various monsters. They have conflicts with each other, but they have formed a relative order, occupying different regions and levels. And when someone passed by, these monsters would jump out and try to kill the intruder. But Suemu just raised the purple light longsword and retaliated in unison. The supermodel's legendary magic didn't give these creatures a chance to regret, and they were burned to ashes in an instant. Even the yellow sand is solidified into high-temperature crystals. Get kill value. 6,231. Obtain primary agility potion, bronze. Suemu didn't bother to put away the drop, so he manipulated a ball of salt, picked it up, devoured it with a gluttony, and turned it into an attribute. Salt is what he precipitated in the corpse of the monster, which can be manipulated very well by the ring of salt and iron. It couldn't be more convenient for picking up items. The title of Crazy God Gluttony is really strong. After devouring so many potions of the same kind, there is no attenuation. Suemu was slightly surprised. However, there is a certain point where the differences will be reduced. He thought about it, there's no need to stay in one place, keep looking for potions, and devour them into attributes. When the level is high, one piece of equipment can be equivalent to dozens of pieces now. Rather than wasting time devouring at low levels, it is better to upgrade earlier. Suemu decided to devour it as soon as he sees it, and there is no need to spend too much energy collecting it. Boom! A mass of flames burned the sea buckthorn dragon's lair to nothing, and tens of thousands of killing points were added to the account. It's strange, why is this lair full of mobs? There is no management level. Suemu was thinking about it when he heard the sound of fighting in the distance. He walked over and saw a small team fighting 3 sea buckthorn dragons. All kinds of formations, magic, and arrows are flying, which is very lively. Su Mu also saw that one of them was a master-level boss, but the overall attribute was relatively weak, not as good as the sand turtle dragon he had encountered before. He saw that someone was swiping, and there was no need to grab it, and was about to leave. "Friend, do me a favor." A formidable opponent suddenly shouted, "This boss is hard to deal with, help me out, let's share it together." Su Mu took a look, and indeed found that this group of people fought vigorously, but it was already at the end of their strength. Without thinking, he drew his sword. The attackers were overjoyed that someone was willing to help. They came here specially to fight against the sea buckthorn boss, but the other party would summon the same kind. With a howl, two elites ran over, which immediately increased the pressure on the group. Now it is no longer a matter of whether the crusade is successful, but how many people must be sacrificed to escape. Just as the attacker was thinking wildly, a thunderbolt fell from the sky. Rumble. The sky and the earth changed color when they heard it, and the yellowish sky was suddenly covered with dark clouds. Click. The thunderbolt struck on the sea buckthorn boss, instantly knocking him down. The boss twitched on the ground for a few seconds, then remained motionless. The attackers were all dumbfounded, and so were the other two elite sea buckthorn dragons. The team swarmed up and finally killed the elite sea buckthorn dragon. The attacker winked to the side, and then said to Su Mu, "Thank you, friend." Su Mu stood on the sand dune and said condescendingly, "You don't have to thank me, I want the drop of the boss, and the elite monsters belong to you." The attacker was a bit embarrassed, but he finally gritted his teeth, "Okay. You just come and get it." Su Mu looked at him, and after a while, suddenly laughed, "Are all the people in the killing realm like this?" Seeing that he was discovered, the attacker no longer covered up, and waved his hand, "Go, kill him. He is a mage, if you don't let him read the note, there is no threat." Whizzing. The members of the team appeared on both sides in an instant, with a sinister smile on their faces. "I'm sorry, grimacing boy. The master boss is not easy to kill, and we have no way to kill another one. We can only kill you." Su Mu sighed slightly. "That's fine, you don't have any scruples when you move your hands." The attacker sneered, "What are you talking about? Kill him." A legal professional raised his staff, and a language curse shot out, prolonging Su Mu's casting time. "Clean it up." Su Mu pulled out the spider snake pendant, turned and left. "What are you pretending to be, what?" The attacker wanted to sneer, but the sneer remained stiff on his face. A huge 3-meter-high monster appeared, with a huge aura as real as it was, trying to crush them completely. How come, what kind of monster is this?" the members of the team exclaimed. Just as he was about to run away, the spider snake had already stepped on 8 legs, and instantly caught up with him, splitting him in two. Someone wanted to sneak attack from behind, but was caught by the snake's tail, caught in the air, and crushed abruptly. The attacker fell to his knees, terrified. "Wrong, I was wrong." Swish. The spider snake had no intention of discussing it, and chopped off his head with a knife. Su Mu stood on a high place and swallowed the equipment back with salt. "It seems that the locals are not very friendly, so as a friendly neighbor, let's clean up the city's garbage." Lu Jia and his group entered the ruins of the city, but were surprised to find that the street was much more lively. They walked into the street full of yellow sand, and people kept running away, shouting in fear, "Spider demon! Monster! Run away! There are monsters! Help! Help!" This situation is not common. Lu Jia had also been in the killing realm for a while, and he was well aware of the pissing nature of these people. They will ambush in seemingly safe places, only waiting for someone to come, and then block the road and rob. This is also the reason why this city, even though it has a safe point and can leave the killing secret, is still called the Fallen City. This is a dark forest of hunters and prey, and offense and defense will switch between each other at any time. But now, this group of killing hunters fled desperately, shouting, "Monster," and "Spider Devil," in their mouths, and their eyes were full of fear. What's going on? Wen panicked. Brother Jia, what happened to them? Lu Jia was also confused, so he ordered his younger brother to catch a person and ask him what happened. The man was pinned to the ground, struggling hysterically, howling in fear, "Run! Run! There are monsters in the city. There are Nerubians, and they killed a lot of people." All my brothers are dead, all dead. Lu Jia and his party heard the general idea, and frowned. What's the matter? Why is there a monster in the city suddenly? The ones that can massacre are at least Lord level or Nightmare level monsters. The younger brother hesitated and said, no way, level 10 killing secret realm, the highest level is the Lord level. And they all have their own lairs, how could they suddenly enter the fallen city to kill people? Lu Jia didn't know what was going on, so he raised his chin. The younger brother stuffed the revolver into the mouth of a passerby, and performed a show for him. Yuan Lianyu was taken aback. He just killed him like this. Lu Jia glanced at the other party, feeling a little itchy in his heart. This girl was very cold and didn't speak much all the way. But Wen tugged at his ears, and could only give up temporarily. Forget it, we'll take care of each one, take your time. Lu Jia paused, and explained. He is the bounty hunter of the Thunder Rat team. He is not a good guy. He has several lives in his hands. If he kills him, he will do harm to the people. It's just that he didn't say that he also has many lives in his hands, and killing this guy is purely for equipment. Yuan Lianyu felt that something was wrong, but she couldn't tell, so she could only nod her head. Don't go too deep, old Qian, go for a walk with the bird and see if there are any spider demons. Lu Jia ordered. Old Qian smiled, and took out the bird. It was a real bird, and when he looked at the sky, the bird flapped its wings and flew away. He knelt on the ground, sharing the view with the bird. Lao Qian is a support job in the team, and has the special skill of controlling birds and sharing vision. In addition, they can only fight coldly by the side, and their combat effectiveness is not strong. Soon, he found something. Seeing a person, wearing a mask, nothing special. Lu Jia didn't care either. Look again, avoid that spider demon. If Fallen City is hard to deal with, go to the Forest of Singers. But Yuan Lianyu and Wen's eyes lit up, and they said in unison, what kind of mask? Just as Lao Qian was about to pull the bird away, when he heard the mask, he took another look. It's a fierce ghost with a blue face and fangs. Yuan Lianyu was overjoyed. Finally met her benefactor again. This time, we must seize the opportunity, at least know who he is, and find a way to repay the favor after leaving the killing secret. Wen, on the other hand, had the opposite attitude, with a face full of eagerness to try. She grabbed Lu Jia and dribbled into him with the ball. Brother Jia, that's him, the one wearing the grimace mask. It's him who provoked me. Yuan Lianyu said urgently. What are you talking about? Mr. Li Gui saved us, how can you say that? Oh, Lu Jia rolled his eyes. Although he didn't know any ghosts, since Wen was offended and Yuan Lianyu couldn't forget it, it made him a little upset. Lu Jia waved his hand. Follow him, let's go there. Seeing his bad tone, Yuan Lianyu immediately became anxious. But she was injured and couldn't stop this group of professionals at all. Wen was very excited. She wanted to hire the ghost-faced man just now, but was ignored. This made her lose face, and she had to get it back no matter what. Soon, the group found the ghost-faced man. Across the half-street, facing each other from a distance. Lu Jia chuckled. Sister Wen, is that guy? Wen nodded again and again, her eyes full of hatred. It's him. Brother Jia, you must help me deal with him. It's a small matter, we have a lot of people, let him kneel every minute. Lu Jia waved his hand, and a group of people greeted the ghost-faced man. Wen was very excited and shouted, yes, let him kneel down. Snapped. Yuan Lianyu slapped Wen's face. Shut up. Wen was stunned by the beating, and said in disbelief, you hit me. Snapped. The whole street was quiet, and a group of people turned their heads. Yuan Lianyu slapped Wen on the other side of the face again. You was the one who slapped. Mr. Li Gui obviously saved you and me, how can you be ungrateful? After a brief astonishment, Wen became furious. You dare hit me. She pushed suddenly, pushing Yuan Lianyu to the ground. We have such a good relationship, yet you beat me for a man. Yuan Lianyu subconsciously wanted to stand up, but just as she turned over, she felt a pain in her thigh and collapsed to the ground again. I was injured before. Even after drinking the recovery potion, it still didn't heal so quickly. Wen sneered and said, okay, since you defend that stinky man, I'll let you take a good look at it. Brother Jia, help me clean up. No, kill that person. Lu Jia chuckled. It's a small matter. Even if Wen Wen didn't say anything, just asking Yuan Lianyu to defend her would make Lu Jia feel bad. This ghost-faced man is dead. He led a group of people and walked towards the man aggressively. But at this moment, Lu Jia's heart suddenly twisted, and he saw something out of the corner of his eye. He subconsciously turned his gaze, only to see jointed limbs stepping out at the end of the street. First came two sharp sickles stained with blood, followed by a ferocious spider on the upper body, and finally a dragging tail of a snake. Even if Lu Jia didn't know him, he understood immediately. This is the Nerubian. In an instant, the hearts of everyone in Lu Jia's team froze into ice. Stay where you are, not daring to move again. The appearance of the spider demon made everyone at the scene stop moving. Although they were seeing this monster for the first time, the huge 3-meter-high body, the blood-stained front pincers of the scythe, and the twisted snake tail gave people a great sense of oppression. Old Qian's cold sweat broke out immediately. Why, what should I do? Lu Jia didn't dare to act rashly either. Although the spider demon was far away, he was afraid that the monster would attack moving targets first. Wen Wen also froze in place, and her body couldn't help shivering. How could this be? I'm going to get to a safe point soon, so I don't want to die here. Lu Jia tremblingly said. It's okay, we are far away, the spider demon will attack the ghost face first, it has nothing to do with us. Suddenly, Wen Wen's eyes lit up, she grabbed Yuan Lianyu, and pushed towards the ghost-faced man. Don't you want to curry favor with that stinky man? Go save him. Yuan Lianyu also trembled in fear, but she gritted her teeth, braced her body abruptly, and walked towards the ghost-masked man with all her strength. Run away. Yuan Lianyu shouted, there is a monster behind you, it has killed many people. Run away. The ghost-faced man reacted, he was lowering his head, checking the panel. Hearing the voice, he turned his face and saw Yuan Lianyu. Wen Wen pulled Lu Jia's sleeve silently. Brother Jia, that stupid woman has attracted the monster's attention, let's retreat. Lu Jia also nodded deeply. Withdraw, take it easy. A group of people retreated in an orderly manner. They were relieved when they saw that the spider demon did not respond. They quickly retreated outside the corner and entered the blind spot. Yuan Lianyu watched the spider demon approaching unhurriedly, her face was ashen, and her heart became more and more desperate. But she still endured the pain and approached the ghost-faced man. Let's go. When Su Mu heard the voice, she turned her head and was quite surprised to find that it was a familiar face. The killing secret is very large, and it is also fate to meet the same person twice in a short period of time. But all of this is inevitable. He killed many hunters in the city, and the rest fled in a panic. If he dared to walk on the street and was spotted by Lao Qian's birds, that would be him. Su Mu didn't have much sense for Yuan Lianyu, she just nodded lightly, meet you again. Seeing that he wasn't nervous at all, Yuan Lianyu kept sighing in her heart. When death is imminent, he is still so calm. But thinking that this person saved his life, now is the time to pay back. Seeing that the spider demon had approached 10 meters, Yuan Lianyu said as if she was going to die, you run away. I'm already injured, I can't run away. I'll hold it back, you go. She raised her hand, squeezed out the last bit of mana, and released an ice storm. Su Mu frowned. What are you doing? He shook the spider snake pendant, and the huge spider snake instantly turned into a ball of light and fell into it. Yuan Lianyu. She exhausted all her strength, knelt down on the ground, panting heavily. Then, that monster, why? Su Mu said calmly, my follower. Yuan Lianyu's eyes widened, her face full of disbelief. That monster is your follower. She almost screamed, with complicated emotions in her heart. On the one hand, it is the joy of escaping death, and on the other hand, there is a strong sense of absurdity. So, is it a person who knows how to save people and is killing people in the city? But before thinking about it, Su Mu killed 14 Xuanwo wolf hawks with just one spell. Yuan Lianyu felt that this is not impossible. She is somewhat famous in Longdu. The people recruited are also good players. But such a team, also in front of the Xuanwo wolfhawk, failed to last for 5 minutes. It is not impossible to kill the Xuanwo wolfhawk with a powerful follower. Yuan Lianyu had a lot of thoughts, and finally gathered into one sentence. Okay, I want to thank you for saving my life before, and I can leave a name or contact information. When I return to Blue Star, I will repay you as much as possible. Su Mu. 100,000 pieces of silver level or higher equipment or potions. Yuan Lianyu looked confused. What? Su Mu said lightly, can you afford it? Yuan Lianyu shook her head. I can't afford it. Su Mu waved his hand. Forget it, you don't need to repay. Yuan Lianyu. She even thought about making a promise with her body, but she didn't expect the other party to ask for 100,000 pieces of silver equipment. Not to mention her, no matter how awesome the organization is, it can't be pulled out. At this time, Lu Jia's team, which had withdrawn for a certain distance, stopped. Lu Jia said vigilantly, Old Qian, go and see if the spider demon is chasing you. Old Qian nodded and let the bird out. Wen Wen asked curiously, can you share your vision? I want to see how that stinky died. Okay, look. Lao Qian glanced at her, thinking that this woman is just good looking, but she has a vicious heart. After all, she is also a best friend, but she is not sad at all. But it doesn't matter, Lu Jia will go to them when he gets tired of playing, and they will kill or sell them when they get tired of playing. A good-looking appearance is enough, no matter how vicious the heart is, it is still warm. Soon, the bird returned to its previous position. They're still alive. Wen Wen screamed, Brother Jia, that smelly woman and that smelly man are still alive. Lu Jia also glanced at it, thinking, the spider demon is gone. Is it too weak not to kill? Wen Wen said angrily, Brother Jia, you can't let them jump around like this. Isn't this slapping you in the face? Hey, okay, I'll avenge you. Lu Jia said with a smile. However, he has no interest in helping Wen Wen take revenge, the main thing is not to let Yuan Lianyu run away. Just now she went to attract the Nerubian's hatred, and she died when she died. Since he is not dead, he should be captured or alive. Lu Jia led the team and quickly found Su Mu. Yuan Lianyu was slightly surprised when she saw a few people coming back. You. Lu Jia smiled and said, of course I'm worried about my sister, I'm back to protect you. What about the spider demon? Don't worry, I will ensure you reach a safe point. Something bad flashed in Yuan Lianyu's heart. Su Mu said at this time, your friend. Then I will go first. The city is full of killer hunters, but he doesn't really kill innocents. As long as he wears a tattered white outfit and reveals that he has no occupation, those bandits can't help but jump out and be harvested by the spider snake. So seeing this group of people, Su Mu didn't plan to do anything. Yuan Lianyu shook her head. No. Mr. Li Gui, you should go first. She gritted her teeth and decided not to leave troubles to Su Mu. Su Mu didn't think much, turned around and left. But Wen Wen quit, and walked up quickly, don't go. As she shouted, she drew the weapon at her waist. Yuan Lianyu's face was pale, but she still stretched out her arms, trying to stop her. Stop. Wen Wen's eyes were fierce. Looking at her former friend, she turned her hand and stabbed the dagger into her heart. Smelly woman, if you dare to hit me, you will die too. In the blink of an eye, Lu Jia was shocked, and hurriedly tried to stop him. Don't. That woman is beautiful, but death is a waste. But something moves faster than him. Zilla. A flash of lightning surged out, ionizing thick ozone in the air, making the hairs of everyone around stand on end. Lu Jia looked intently, and his face turned pale with shock on the spot. There was only half of Wen Wen left, and her lower body was completely melted. The wound was scorched instantly, and the blood flow was actually blocked. This also made the upper body unable to die for a while, and fell to the ground in a daze. After a long while, he screamed in pain, ah! My legs are gone. Several people subconsciously turned their heads and saw Su Mu raising his hand, with a flash of thunder shining in his palm. Sorry. The ghost face seemed to be apologetic. It's too far away, it's too late for Yan to control it, so I can only attack. Is she all right? Who made her do it all of a sudden? Several people looked at Wen Wen, who was only half left on the ground, and murmured in their hearts, is this all right? Wen Wen wailed and rolled in pain, her heart full of regret and despair. When the lightning melted her flesh and blood, she remembered that this person also killed more than a dozen Xuanwo wolf hawks in one move. But when Wen has always been pampered, she can get what she wants, and she can't bear being rejected by others. But now, it's too late to say anything, death is only a matter of time. Lu Jia swallowed, and carefully apologized. Well, big brother, we are just passing by, so pretend you haven't seen it. The few of them took a step back, but at this moment, one of them's waist bag was scorched by the lightning that passed by, and it cracked open, and something fell out. Slap! Several ears fell to the ground. Lu Jia's face changed drastically. Where did you pick it up? Throw it away. This is a hobby of his subordinates, who like to collect loot. Now he regrets it very much in his heart. If he knew that he would meet this killing god, he shouldn't let his subordinates do such a shit. But now, Lu Jia could only forcefully smile and said, Brother, I'm leaving first if I don't have anything to do. Su Mu sighed slightly. It's killing hunters again, there is no good person in this city. I didn't want to kill people with my own hands, so I broke the precept. If you break it, let it be broken. Just clean up this place. Go. Lu Jia's eyes widened, seeing that spider demon suddenly appear. In an instant, his head was chopped off. At this moment, Lu Jia finally realized that it was no wonder that the ghost face did not die under the hands of the spider demon. It turned out that he was the master of the spider demon. This time it was kicked to the iron board. Gululu. Lu Jia's head rolled half a circle on the yellow sand, ending his sinful life. Yuan Lianyu panicked when she saw it. The huge spider snake killed everyone in 10 seconds. Everyone is killed in one hit, and there is no trace of excess. After completing the task, the spider snake returned to Su Mu and resumed the standby mode. Yuan Lianyu couldn't help trembling. Will I die? Su Mu. Yuan Lianyu. I saw your secret, will I die? Su Mu pointed to the mask on his face. Am I stupid or are you stupid? Yuan Lianyu. Su Mu waved impatiently. Get out, leave quickly, I have to clear the venue. Yuan Lianyu didn't understand. What? Su Mu pointed to a nearby building. See, there is no good person in this city, I want to clear the place. A trace of confusion flashed in Yuan Lianyu's heart. Could it be that he wants to destroy the entire city? She subconsciously thought it was ridiculous, but the next moment she thought it was not impossible. This person can hit everyone with one move in seconds. Level 10 is a guerrilla fighter, or a group of elite monsters, each of them can reach the second hit. Could it be that his talent is to drop any object in seconds? Can this city be defeated in one move? But before Yuan Lianyu could figure it out, Su Mu had already stepped on the disc made of salt and flew up. Can fly, so handsome. Yuan Lianyu watched Su Mu fly away, the tattered white clothes on his body fluttering in the wind, and suddenly felt that he was very chic and quite elegant. No, maybe he can really do it. Now that everyone is on the run, I have to go out and tell my family that a real killing god has appeared in the killing secret. The safe point is not far away, just get out from there. Chapter 41. Dao Yingqi, the principal of Wangxi No. 1 Middle School, received a strange piece of information and immediately ran to the office of the Ministry of Internal Affairs. What? There's a problem in the killing realm. Chen Kai, the head of the Internal Intelligence Department in the deserted city, was shocked when he heard the news. A monster has appeared, and it will kill people if it catches them. The level may exceed the limit. Dao Yingqi also looked panic-stricken. The news came from the family of an old friend of mine. One of his juniors entered the secret killing realm. In the Fallen City generation, he discovered the massacre. Chen Kai frowned. This. Your student with SSS grades, did you go in? Dao Yingqi sighed. Yes, I haven't been able to contact you since this morning. I suspect that he entered the killing realm last night. Chen Kai patted the table. Confused. We simply don't have the right people to enter the level 10 killing secret realm. A good seedling will be ruined by you. Dao Yingqi said. I can only think about the good, maybe he is not in the Fallen City area. This is easier said than done. Chen Kaidao, entering the desolate city, it is easiest to refresh in the Fallen City. It's full of killer hunters there, and it has been impossible to cure them for so many years. There are robbers on one side, and monsters on the other side, there are more dangers than good luck. While talking, both of them kept sighing. Although that child is a trash talent, but he can pass the Undead God King's secret realm with SSS score, so he has a good heart. It's a pity that he fell into the killing realm because of the principal's wrong decision. Something has happened. A man suddenly ran in with a piece of information in his hand. Level 10 Killing Secret Realm, Fallen City, was completely destroyed. What? Both Chen Kai and Dao Yingqi stood up suddenly. What's going on? The person who sent the news said, someone saw a mushroom cloud 10 kilometers away from Fallen City. The entire ruins have been razed. In order to destroy the ruins of the city, Su Mu spent a lot of effort. Although his skills are very strong, he is still not good enough to attack an entire city. But fortunately, when chasing and killing the hunter, he discovered an interesting place. The gang found an abandoned power plant and used its core as a power station. Meditating and resting next to the abandoned energy core can restore physical strength faster. After Su Mu cleaned up the gangsters, he also saw the core. 5 million blood is really thick. He patted the core shell and cut it twice before seeing the blood volume. The blazing blue fireball was suspended in it, faintly releasing coercion. Su Mu casually threw some rubbish into it, but it was swallowed instantly, splashing a little spark. If you can't take it away, you can only use it. Such a huge energy, if the stability is destroyed, it should be able to generate enough power. Anyway, there are no good people in this city, it is a den of bandits. Letting this discarded core take effect is also considered to make the best use of it. Thinking of this, Su Mu began to read the long article. World Destroyer and Burning Prison Legendary, sing for 2 to 15 seconds, release a world-destroying flame to a limited area, causing 7,500 plus 2 AP points of flame chaos damage, and may have burning, pain, serious injury, and confusion effects. Crazy God Laziness. You can prepare for the skill and cast it infinitely, and the resulting power can be superimposed infinitely. Extinguishing World and Burning Prison is just a panel, which can cause 50,000 points of damage. Lazy Passive can extend the casting time infinitely. Su Mu read it for 2 hours. If it weren't for swallowing a lot of mana potions and recovering mana every second, it would almost be unbearable. When the last trace of mana was drained, Su Mu aimed at the energy core in the middle and threw the skill. And just 2 hours ago, a group of people gathered in a hidden stronghold in Fallen City. A rare gathering of hundreds of people killing hunters, the scene was suddenly noisy and chaotic. The forest leopard is here, and the 4 major killer hunters are all here. Someone shouted. Forest leopard, corpse eater, silver wolf king, blood claw, the 4 strongest killer hunters are all present, this is probably the first time. Are they strong? Someone asked. Strong. Immediately someone covered his mouth and explained cautiously, they are different from us, they just kill people and sell goods, and they need to go back to Blue Star to live. These 4 people are all S-rank wanted criminals of Yanmang, and each of them has countless blood debts on their hands. They don't leave the killing secret realm, they use this place as a stronghold, and every hunter who comes in must submit to them. Those who don't obey. Aren't you surprised why there are only hunters left in the Fallen City except for a few people who strayed into the city? Because disobedient people and disobedient forces are all dead. As the man explained, he trembled and was very frightened. If it's in Blue Star, Yanmang can still send high-level professionals to arrest them. But in the killing secret realm, that is, the fish enter the ocean, and there is no way to find them. They have reached the pinnacle of level 10 professionals, no one can match them. Even the Yanmang cannot cultivate stronger professionals. These people appeared together, that kid is dead. The hunters exchanged their lives for information. It turned out that the spider monster had a master behind it. He brought high-level monsters in through an unknown method. And now, the corpse eater said coldly, where is that kid? I am looking forward to tasting his flesh and blood. Will it be more delicious? Blood Claw waved his blood-stained paw. My man has found him. He is hiding in Heilang's territory, the power plant. A group of people turned their heads and looked at a man with scars all over his face. Silver Wolf King said in a low tone, I will avenge my brother. Lin Zhanbao smiled and said, I heard that monster has dozens of levels of strength, what revenge do you have? The Silver Wolf King said angrily, it's just a monster, I can use the pack of wolves to hold it back, you go in and kill the summoner. The little guy below was excited. As expected of the Silver Wolf King, he has reached the pinnacle of this level. Even high-level monsters of dozens of levels can block them by themselves. And with such a strong existence, there are 3 more. That kid dared to carry out a massacre in the fallen city, just in front of these 4 hunters. He is dead. So under the leadership of the 4 hunters, a group of people went to the power plant in a mighty way. Sure enough, at the entrance, they encountered a spider snake. "You go in, I'll hold you back." The Silver Wolf King roared angrily, calling out the pack of wolves. There were so many wolves, they rushed up and entangled the spider snake. The spider snake is just a corpse with only physical damage. Even with one knife, they were entangled by a pack of wolves and bypassed by other hunters. "Dare to kill my younger brother, go to hell." Behind the Silver Wolf King appeared a phantom of a giant wolf, and he himself turned into a werewolf, and rushed forward, fighting with the spider snake. "When that summoner dies, you are useless." And the other 3 big hunters rushed into the power plant with hundreds of people. But just when they thought they could catch the summoner quickly, an ice wall appeared in front of everyone. "What?" Lin Jianbao was surprised, and hit it with a punch. "Stop!" yelled the corpse eater, but it was too late. Cha-cha-cha! Countless spikes erupted from the ice wall in an instant, piercing directly into the forest leopard's body. Before he could react in time, he was stabbed into an ant's nest. Ordinary killing hunters have not had time to be surprised when they see those spikes being shot out, and they are coming. Cha-cha-cha! Blood splattered on the scene, and the spikes easily pierced into the bodies of this group of people, killing dozens of people in an instant. "Mage, shield," someone shouted, and then set up the magic shield, temporarily blocking the attack. The corpse eater's face was ugly. "Qingning, come out." The faces of ordinary hunters suddenly changed. "Saint Qingning, why are you here? I heard that she has been here for a few months, isn't she not showing up in Fallen City?" "It's over, this is her conspiracy." Pieces of ice crystals floated in the air, and a young girl Yukong stepped out. She was dressed in a light blue gauze dress, with a dusty temperament, standing proudly in the air, swaying like a fairy. "I've wanted to clean up your group of pests for a long time. They hid in the ground one by one, and now they finally showed up." Standing in the air, Lang Junyao said arrogantly. The corpse eater gritted his teeth. "You kill my brother, today is your death day." The moment he spoke, he had already made a bold move. 2 groups of bloody air condensed in his hands, and countless maggots splashed out from them. Small tricks. Lang Junyao flapped her sleeves, and countless ice crystals flew out. Before the maggots got close, they fell to the ground and turned into popsicles as thick as fingers. "Do it. This fool is from Beijing Lang's family, and he is very powerful." The corpse eater roared. Lips dead and teeth cold, blood claws have nothing to do, so they can only keep up. He activated his skills, and the ground under his feet rippled like water waves, and soon he dived into it. The corpse eater let out an angry roar, bloody smoke condensed on his body, and shot towards Lang Junyao. Tarsus maggots, howling, the fog of decay. Several skills flew towards Lang Junyao. She dodged in the air and hit the ice wall. Immediately, many holes appeared in the wall of ice, which was corroded and damaged. "Big ice spike," Lang Junyao chanted, released a big skill, and smashed at the corpse eater from the air. The corpse eater wanted to dodge, but the skills on the opposite side could control the direction. He could only summon a bone shield and struggle to support it. If one-on-one, he is far from Lang Junyao's opponent. Swish swish swish. Ordinary killer hunters came to their senses and launched their skills one after another to attack Lang Junyao. Although these people are relatively weak, she can't ignore them, so she can only give up chasing and killing the corpse eaters and run away quickly. Also at this moment, the floating effect of the ice crystal wings came into play, and Lang Junyao, a frost nova controlling the field, fell to the ground. But as soon as she reached the ground, she suddenly felt alarm bells ringing in her heart. Crack! A huge mechanical claw rushed out of the ground, holding Lang Junyao in its palm. The sharp claws closed suddenly, about to chop her into pieces. Oops, I was careless. Lang Junyao was startled, knowing that she had still been tricked. Blood Claw was buried underground just for this thunderous blow. At this moment, he was also brought out of the ground by the claws that had been magnified several times. His eyes were full of excitement and pride. No matter who it is, as long as the level is still in this range, they can only die. Lang Junyao quickly made a decision in her heart. There is no way to escape with just a level 10 attribute. Whether you want to unlock the seal, that is the last trump card. And many more. She turned her head suddenly and looked into the depths of the power plant, not even caring about the mechanical claws that were about to close. Successful. Bloodclaw cheered triumphantly. Clang. The claws suddenly closed. What is that? Whether it was the Bloodclaw, the corpse eater, or the ordinary killer hunter, they were all stunned. A sun is rising in the power plant. Lang Junyao also saw the blazing flame, which was rushing towards her at an astonishing speed. I'm going to die. This was the only thought in her mind. As long as you touch this flame, you will definitely die. Without hesitation, Lang Junyao crushed the talisman, and her whole body was pulled into the multidimensional space, and disappeared in the killing secret in an instant. It was the only one life-saving talisman of the Lang family, and it was originally intended to be used in the subsequent War of 10,000 Realms. But I didn't expect that in a low-level killing secret, I was forced to use it. Down, what happened below? Bloodclaw muttered to himself. He watched helplessly as the fireball expanded and engulfed the forest leopard's body in an instant, leaving no bones left. Bloodclaw wanted to escape, but before he could turn around, the fireball swallowed half of his body. He didn't feel too much pain, and soon even his brain was turned into fly ash. Someone reacted and wanted to escape. But who can go too fast? The fireball expanded, and wherever it went, it instantly vaporized rocks and steel. The corpse eaters desperately set up a bloody barrier, but the blood energy could not condense at all, and was annihilated by the high temperature. He also quickly disappeared into the flames, with only one question on his mind: what happened underground? Hundreds of killer hunters only escaped for a few seconds before being overtaken by the rapidly expanding fireball and swallowed together. The Silver Wolf King on the ground fought fiercely with the spider snake, and his whole body was injured. They have been gone for so long, should they catch that kid? The next moment, the spider snake disappeared in front of him. The Silver Wolf King was overjoyed. It's done, they killed that kid. But in just 2 seconds, the Silver Wolf King's joy turned into panic. He saw a mass of raging flames spewing out from the ground, sweeping towards them with a destructive aura. The Silver Wolf King ran away, and the sudden burst of speed allowed him to escape quite a distance. But even so, he still felt the heat from his back. The Silver Wolf King turned his head in horror, and saw countless monsters being forced out of their lairs, running, or flying away quickly. But the bursting speed of the flames was even faster, drowning and scorching these monsters one after another. Crescent speed effect has expired. The Silver Wolf King's acceleration skill had reached its duration, and its speed dropped a lot. It's over. He was overtaken by the fireball and ended his sinful life. A huge fireball rose from the ground, completely sweeping across the entire city. Lava flows on the ground, and after cooling down slightly, it turns into a glass-like substance. The whole world is like the end, full of scorched black and death. After a few minutes, Sumu suddenly appeared in the 100-meter deep pit. Hiss, I've used up my last life. Standing on the ground, he felt extremely weak inside his body. In the Abyss Mage's reappearance secret realm, Sumu used up all 5 lives. This time the power core was detonated, leveling the entire city and killing him one more time. The passivity of the undead caused Sumu to reduce all attributes by 99% and enter a weak state after exhausting the resurrection opportunities. But as long as it passes 0 points, after getting a chance to recharge, the weak state can be lifted. Wealth are in danger. Anyway, if you want to increase the killing value, you can die if you die, and it will be the next day soon, so it is not a waste. Sumu released the spider snake. Collect all the things that are not melted, and come back to protect me. The huge explosion frightened everyone, and no one dared to enter the ruins of the city for a while, but it gave Sumu time to tidy up. He can calm down and count the gains just now. Creatures killed, 236,418. Get kill value, 101,761,394 points. You have become the most slaughtered existence in this killing secret realm, and you have obtained the title, Slaughter Focus Not Worn. Carnage Focus. Every time you kill an enemy that grants experience with a skill, the skill is empowered. Sumu was slightly stunned. You got the title again. It's so strong, as long as you use your skills, you can get stronger. He shook his head and looked at other gains for the time being. With an AoE shot, 230,000 monsters were killed and 100 million killing points were obtained. In addition, Spider Snake still has a lot of equipment and props that have not been destroyed. After Su Mu devoured all these props, he looked at his panel again. Physique, 3,261. Strength, 5,235. Agility, 5,478. Spirit, 4,396. Hiss, horror. Su Mu swallowed involuntarily, and was shocked in her heart. This panel attribute can already catch up with characters in the 60 or 70 levels. You know, level 30 is a threshold. Once you can cross it, you can unlock dual careers. And level 60 is another threshold, which can unlock professional integration. Even a person with average talent, reaching level 60, can combine different professions to highlight his own advantages. And Su Mu is only level 10 now, and he has already surpassed the level 60 professional fusion professional, so it can be said that he is not strong. It seems a little too hard. Su Mu smiled. His plan is to shine in the college entrance examination and get noticed. Traveling to Blue Star by myself, after all, I am alone and have no support from behind. Even if you are immortal, your family needs to be cared for and protected. Only by improving your strength can you exchange for capital. Ding! A layer of indestructible charge has been obtained, and the weak state has been lifted. Su Mu felt a warm current all over her body, and the side effects of 99% attribute reduction had all disappeared. After 12 o'clock, one life was restored. Su Mu thought, the keystone is precious, and after tomorrow, I will no longer come to the level 10 secret realm, so I have to seize the opportunity. He looked into the distance. I remember, there is also a Singer's Forest in the Killing Realm. Su Mu spent the night in Singer Forest. Seeing monsters is like destroying the world and burning prisons, and turning into scum along the way. There are not many people here, and they all seem to go to the direction of the ruins of the city to watch the big explosion, and have no intention of spawning monsters. This also allows Su Mu not to be distracted. There are many normal people here, so there is no need to kill them. It's just that there is no energy core, and the entire forest cannot be razed to the ground, which is a pity. It's 5 o'clock. Su Mu looked at the time, relaxed her muscles and bones, and her bones made a crisp sound like popping beans. He didn't feel tired at all, and his high attributes and high spirit allowed him to stay awake and excited for a long time. High strength and high agility can also passively eliminate muscle fatigue. As long as skills are not used excessively, physical strength will never be exhausted. For the same reason, there is also mana. The passive of the Abyssal Sage provides 100 times the maximum mana and mana recovery speed. Even if you use legendary spells, take 2 steps, and find the gap for the next target, you can still recover completely. Su Mu swallowed the last bottle of explosive power mixture and opened the panel. Physique, 4,261. Strength, 6,235. Agility, 6,478. Spirit, 5,396. Compared with the ruins of the city last night, each attribute has increased by more than 1,000. It's time to go out. There are still a few hours for the college entrance examination, so don't miss it. Su Mu followed the strategy in memory and left towards the safe exit point. The harvest of this day is not insignificant. From the secret realm of the Abyss Mage, he obtained the title of Abyssal Sage. From the secret realm of Thirst Peak, 7 super titles that had side effects but happened to be restrained were obtained. And in the Killing secret realm, the most important attribute points were obtained. Before entering, Su Mu can be said to be a glass cannon, with powerful spells but very fragile itself. But now, not counting damage avoidance, damage reduction, and resistance, his HP alone has reached 100,000. It can be regarded as having the power of self-protection. If someone uses Exterminating World and Burning Prison on him, he can also carry 2 shots. Killing Realm has made up for Su Mu's last shortcoming. In addition to his profession, he has already crushed professionals in the 50s and 60s in all aspects. It seems that you brushed too hard, and going to the college entrance examination like this, isn't it bullying the children? Su Mu was thinking while leaving the Killing secret. Ding! Completed. Killing Secret Realm. Total creatures killed. 247,276. Total kill points. 114, 184, 931 points. Scoring. Your score is SSS. Distributing rewards. Title obtained. Lord of Slaughter not worn. Acquired item. Out of Wrath Scroll Legendary. Acquired item. Malicious Perception Strengthening Rune Legendary. Acquired items. Occupation Book Elemental Swordsman Epic. Acquired knowledge. Comprehension of Myriad Realms. Good stuff. Su Mu was overjoyed, and lowered her head to check what she got. Title. Lord of Slaughter. Owns the ownership of Level 10 Slaughter Secret Realm, can enter and exit at any time, and can control the access authority. Need to bind the main world. Hey, so this secret realm is equivalent to my back garden. With a thought in his mind, Su Mu suddenly appeared at the gate of the number 1 hospital in Wangxi, Langsing. With another thought, he reappeared in the mysterious and beautiful Singer Forest in the Killing Realm. Bind to Blue Star. Su Mu bound the secret realm to the main world without hesitation. Now that he could control the entry and exit, he had a flash of thought and drove all the non-indigenous people inside out of the secret realm. A small secret realm can continuously develop resources, and as long as the gate of the secret realm is guarded, an absolutely safe territory can be created. No matter how good a professional is, it is difficult to cross the Star Sea and forcefully enter another world. All of a sudden, countless people suddenly appeared from all over the Blue Star, and even from other worlds. They looked confused. What's going on? I'm not in the Sea of Yellow Sand, why was I transferred back to the main world? Kicked me out of the Killing Realm. Strange, did it trigger some taboo? Oops, City Defense Army. Countless people were stunned, and they didn't know why they were suddenly kicked out of the killing secret. There are also many wanted criminals who suddenly lost the protection of the secret realm and were caught by the guards who arrived soon. All of a sudden, the news of the change in the killing secret realm spread throughout the Yan League and many worlds. Countless big shots fell into deep thought. Why does the killing realm expel people? Could it be that there are high-level props about to appear? Hurry up to collect information and find the person who left the killing secret. But Su Mu didn't know about these things, she just had her first private secret realm happily. He can open the door to the secret realm at any time in Blue Star, allowing allowed people to enter and exit. As long as a place is cleaned up, all the monsters are emptied, and even the mother and sister can live in. Just watch the door, there is no safer place than that. Withdrawing her thoughts, Su Mu looked at other items. Malicious Perception Enhanced Rune Legendary released on any object, it can perceive unkind gazes. Perceptual distance varies with average properties. Occupation Book Elemental Swordsman Epic changed to Elemental Swordsman, main attributes, Agility, Spirit. Passive. Elemental Affinity, Sword Affinity, Wind Spirit Step, Earth Lays Stealth. Learn active skills. Elemental Blade, 4 forms of Earth, Fire, Water and Wind Power of Shock, Form Transformation, Star Rush. Without thinking, Su Mu summoned the Eye of Void, and gave it the Malicious Perception Enhancement Rune. The detection ability of this thing is much stronger than his own physical perception, and it can also hide in other planes. After being able to perceive maliciousness, it becomes an all-round radar. Elemental Swordsman. Su Mu looked at the job transfer letter, lost in thought. This profession is a combination of a sorcerer and a fighter. That is to say, a sorcerer and a fighter can be selected at level 10, and another profession can be selected at level 30. Only at level 60 can one become an elemental swordsman, which is pretty good. Su Mu thought for a while, and put the job change letter back in his pocket. The attributes are enough now, don't rush to change jobs, and think about it later. He looked at the last item, the comprehension of the world. This thing is like an elixir, but it doesn't have any grade or comment. But Su Mu thought of another thing. He took out a bottle of potion from the deepest part of his backpack, almost forgot about this thing. Potion of Enlightenment Legendary keeps enlightened for an hour after use. That was the customs clearance reward obtained in the Road to Madness. There were so many people at that time that Su Mu couldn't care less about using it. Now he swallowed the potion without saying a word. Passive obtained. Maintain a high level of awareness. Sure enough, Su Mu was overjoyed. In an instant, He felt clear in his mind, and everything became extremely transparent. Su Mu saw the passing cars, and suddenly felt the torque of machinery, and seemed to have become very transparent about manufacturing and engineering skills. He saw the sun in the sky again. The morning sun was not hot, but it gave Su Mu a new idea about fire skills. Su Mu saw two children running, untrained, and their movements were rough, but it suddenly made him figure out the problem of exertion. The effect of high awareness is so powerful. Su Mu exclaimed, I'm beginning to understand the skills of using skills. If you have the same attributes, you can definitely crush the same level. Without thinking about it, he swallowed the prop's myriad world's comprehension into his stomach. Boom! Su Mu only felt a heat rising from her abdomen and rushing straight into her mind. He saw the killing secret realm in the void, stretching out countless dense thin lines, connecting thousands of planes. Su Mu saw countless creatures in the void, countless civilizations, and countless histories. He also noticed that different people were living, fighting, and doing all sorts of strange things. Su Mu seems to have entered the bodies of those people, observing the world from the first person. Thousands of people were killed, and Su Mu was also killed by thousands of people. There are tens of millions of people forging iron, and Su Mu also forges with thousands of people. There are tens of thousands of people living peaceful lives, and Su Mu also watched their every move and lived thousands of peaceful lives. He seems to have passed a moment, and it seems to have experienced thousands of days. Everything that has been experienced will not disappear, but will be stored in Su Mu's mind like instinct. Everything in the world has become extremely transparent because it has been experienced thousands of times. In Wangxi No. 1 Middle School, many people have already gathered here. Looking at the many students in the underground, the principal Dao Yingqi was quite relieved. Principal, most of the people are here, a teacher reported. Dao Yingqi nodded slightly and asked, Where's Su Mu? Are you here? The teacher shook his head. I haven't seen it yet. Boom. Beside him, Minister of Internal Affairs Chen Kai slapped the table and said angrily, HMPH, be proud of your talents. It's just that he passed the Undead God King's secret realm at the SSS level, and didn't even take the college entrance examination. What's the point? Dao Yingqi sighed. Maybe it's just late, wait a little longer. Chen Kai continued to scold. I think he is too complacent, so he shouldn't be giving him 3 million. I just asked someone to check, and he took 3 million the day before yesterday. I didn't show up all day yesterday, I must want to relax and have a good time. Dao Yingqi said incredulously. Su Mu is not like this kind of person. Chen Kai snorted again. It didn't seem like he had no money before, but now that he has got a 3S score and has money in his hand, he must go get it. Dao Yingqi changed the topic. It's okay to drink and drink, I'm afraid he. Killing the secret realm. Chen Kai's words stopped immediately. Will he enter the killing secret realm? No matter what, you have to wait until you have changed jobs and have professional skills before entering. Dao Yingqi said. A major event happened in the killing secret realm. First, the entire fallen city was destroyed, and then everyone was ejected. It's okay for him to miss the opportunity to change jobs, but he's afraid of dying in it. Chen Kai was silent for a moment, and then said forcefully, the college entrance examination will start in 1 hour, if you don't come, it's a matter of attitude. The two waited for another half an hour. Dao Yingqi stretched out his head and kept looking around. A teacher came up. Principal, you can open the door to the secret realm. Dao Yingqi hesitated for a moment, then said, wait a little longer. Chen Kai said disdainfully. I also heard that in the last few days, instead of improving his talent, he was doing useless things. He doesn't cherish the opportunity himself, and it's his own fault to miss it. When the time came to 8:55, the teacher said again, Principal, let's open it, and let the students go in a few minutes earlier so that they have time to prepare. Dao Yingqi looked embarrassed. Wait a little longer. HMPH. Chen Kai put down his cell phone. My people just found out that Su Mu was still on the phone with her family at noon yesterday. You said that he entered the killing secret in the morning, it seems that it is not true. He's just drunk with paper and gold, taking the money to spend time and money. Dao Yingqi didn't look at him. Su Mu is not like this kind of person. Bang bang bang. Chen Kai knocked on the table. People's hearts are separated by belly. He is a young man, he is easy to fall when he has resources. I only gave 3 million, and I have fallen so low that I forgot the college entrance examination. How can I entrust him with more important positions in the future? The teacher glanced at the time. Principal, let's start, or it will be too late. Chen Kai also said, let's start, that kid is useless, waiting for him is a waste of time. Dao Yingqi sighed. On. Ha. He suddenly felt something, and when he turned his head, he saw a person running towards the school at high speed. It's Su Mu. Dao Yingqi suddenly stood up and said in surprise, he's here. Chen Kai was also a little surprised, but he still snorted. Dare to be late for important things, but there is still a problem with your attitude. But soon, Dao Yingqi frowned. He saw Su Mu running towards the school gate quickly, but at the gate, he encountered an obstacle. Su Mu climbed over the fence in a hurry and took a shortcut into the school. Phew, that sentiment is too strong, and I haven't absorbed it yet. If it wasn't for returning to Blue Star, the mobile phone had signal again. At the last moment, a sound sounded in his head. Su Mu was almost immersed in the feeling and missed the college entrance examination. Although he already has a job change letter, he may be able to find a better job on the mainland where he is being tested for the college entrance examination. This is not to be missed. When Su Mu woke up with a start, she rushed to the school before she could absorb all her insights. But when he rushed into the campus, suddenly a person stopped in front of him, and said coldly, stop. Su Mu frowned. This was a man with a hooked nose, wearing a black windbreaker, looking at him unkindly. You are Su Mu? The hook-nosed man asked. Is there something wrong? Su Mu asked. The hooked nose looked at Su Mu, and suddenly said, Pan Zian, do you know him? Su Mu thought of the classmate who was causing trouble. He hadn't seen him for a few days. At this moment, the attributes of the two were 1,000 times different, and he didn't have the heart to take revenge on an ant. He said, I know. Hooked nose waved, and 2 people walked out behind him. Pan Zian was at your noodle stall for the last time, and needs to cooperate with the investigation, take him away. Su Mu frowned, but the hooked-nosed subordinate didn't intend to communicate at all, and walked straight to him. In this tense scene, Dao Yingqi's voice came from behind. Special Envoy Sun Yusheng, today is the college entrance examination, it's not good to take my students away. Sun Yusheng turned his head back. Principal, do you want to hinder the work of Wenxi Institute? Of course I don't dare. Dao Yingqi chuckled, but today is a special situation, so you can't hold your hands high. Special Envoy Sun just arrived in Guangxi from Longdu today, right? I'm the host, please rest and recuperate until the college entrance examination is over. Sun Yusheng narrowed his eyes. A student with S-level talent disappeared under your jurisdiction, and still wants to take a rest. Dao Yingqi knew that Pan Zian had some money in his family, and he had awakened an S-level talent. But somehow, it disappeared a few days ago. At first, I thought I was practicing at home, but I didn't expect to see it today. The disappearance of an S-level talent is considered a major event. But today, Sun Yusheng wants to prevent another SSS scorer from taking the college entrance examination, so it's not worth it. Dao Yingqi said, we will deal with this matter, thank you Special Envoy Sun for your attention. It's just that Pan Zian and Su Mu are fighting among young people. It's normal, so there's no need to pursue it. Sun Yusheng said coldly. According to information, the last time Pan Zian appeared was in front of this Su Mu. It is necessary for him to investigate with me. Dao Yingqi said. Special Envoy Sun, you can't postpone it for a day. After the college entrance examination is over, I will assist you in the investigation with Su Mu. Sun Yusheng snorted. No, it has to be now. Dao Yingqi's attitude also cooled down. What if I say no? Sun Yusheng turned around, and a powerful force exploded from his body. You want to fight against Wenxiwan? You are worthy too. The faces of the surrounding teachers changed. This momentum is definitely a master above level 100. You know, this group of teachers is also in the range of 30 to 60. Faced with such coercion, there is no ability to resist. As the swords were tense, a voice came from the side. He is not worthy, I don't know if I am worthy. Chen Kai strode forward. Under the coercion, his expression was a little unnatural, but he still walked confidently. His level is not high, but his power is very high. If you continue to unleash coercion in the campus, it will be regarded as a provocation to Yanmeng officials. Chen Kai shouted angrily. Sun Yusheng took a deep look at him, pressed his hands together, and gradually weakened the power just now. HMPH. Knowing that he could not achieve his goal, Sun Yusheng turned around and left. Chen Kai said with a half smile but not a smile, Special Envoy Sun, don't rush to leave. People from Wenxi Academy can be regarded as guests, please go to the high platform and watch this year's trial together. Sun Yusheng stopped and showed a ferocious smile. Okay, let's watch together and see where this SSS-rated kid will die. Dao Yingqi patted Su Mu on the shoulder. Don't worry, with me and Lao Chen here, no one can touch you. He thought about Su Mu's strange behavior these days, not training, and being late today, and he felt quite disappointed. But still encouraged. I, Dao Yingqi, told you to complete the trial, no one can stop it. Go and get a good grade and slap them in the face. Su Mu couldn't help being a little moved. Although he didn't know that Sun Yusheng, he also knew that the other party's background was not simple. The headmaster can withstand the pressure and protect himself, which is also a kindness. Su Mu nodded. Principal, what grade do you want? The principal was taken aback for a moment, and then smiled. Little brat, you have such a big tone. You are really qualified, give me the first place in the league. Well, the first place in Xizang province will do. Su Mu nodded. Okay, I see. After he left, Chen Kaikai said, you only have 1S level this year, and you are still proficient in support. You are the first in Xizang. Dao Yingqi sighed. That's fate, as a human being, you have to have something to look forward to. Su Mu quickly entered the class team, and was immediately grabbed by his friend Chen Kai. SSS class, do you want to form a team? Su Mu couldn't laugh or cry, why did her nickname change to this? He declined. No, I will do it alone. Chen Kai felt a little regretful. It's a pity, many people want to form a team with the SSS class. What is there? It's just a reappearance secret realm, and there is no reward. That's right, Su Mu's other attributes are average, around 20, who here is not? Let's form a team. Although the experience will be shared equally, but with tanks, output, and healing, it's easier to fight. Chen Kai ignored the cynics and said to Su Mu, how did you provoke Sun Yusheng? Su Mu was curious. You know him? Chen Kai said braggingly. Yes, I am also from the deserted city. You know the secret realm of the recurrence of the Abyss Mage in the Heroic Spirit Memorial Hall. Su Mu looked up. Well, I know. Chen Kai said. Sun Yusheng cleared the secret realm decades ago, successfully met the Abyss Mage in it, and learned a lot of skills. After coming out, he quickly made contributions in the frontline secret realm, and even entered the Academy of Invention. Now he has a background. He's returning to the deserted city now, he must want to return to his hometown. By the way, how did you provoke him? Many messages flashed in Su Mu's mind, and he frowned. It's nothing, Pan Xian is missing. He asked me if I saw him. Chen Kai didn't know what was going on, and was still rambling. Yes, after he wakes up, his descendants will disappear. I guess it must be because I didn't take the college entrance examination, and a big family gave me a job transfer letter, so I went directly to the pinnacle of life. Oh, I can't be envious. By the way, why didn't you? Su Mu looked at the stage. Through the glass, she couldn't see the people behind her. But the eyes of nothingness told him that there was a malicious gaze behind him. Listen up, everyone, every 3 seconds, when the green light turns on, you can enter the secret realm. Those who form a team, remember to lead the team and prevent them from getting separated. The time for refining the secret realm in the college entrance examination is 1 day and 1 night. Try to find materials that can be improved. Central Star Spirit Pagoda, those who have not changed jobs, and those who do not exceed level 10 are forbidden to enter. If your life is in danger, you must use the city return scroll. Combat occupations kill monsters as much as possible, life occupations collect or make items, and send them to the 36 stronghold areas. Now, the trial begins. With the instructor speaking in front, the students stepped into the gate of the secret realm one by one. Chen Kai was eager to try. After more than 10 years of learning, it will finally come in handy. Su Mu, you are alone, don't die. Su Mu smiled and didn't answer. Soon, he also stepped into the gate of the secret realm. Su Mu's eyes blurred, and he saw himself standing on the top of a hill. It was morning on Blue Star, but it was night here. This is the Trial Continent, discovered by the Yanmeng and completely controlled by it. Every year, tens of millions of students step here to kill monsters on the 50,000 square kilometers of land, improve their rankings, and try their best to find suitable job transfer letters. This continent has special rules. When monsters are killed and resources are collected, there is a chance to drop special transfer books and skill books. Thousands of students, 99% of them, will change jobs through this method. Su Mu glanced at the surrounding environment. The eyes of nothingness spanned the plane of matter and life, and saw the surrounding living things clearly. There's a saber-toothed tiger next to it, it's coming. As he thought, a saber-toothed tiger smelled a human being appearing in its territory, and jumped out with a roar. In Wangxi No. 1 Middle School, the principal and others were sitting indoors, watching the scene through monitoring magic. The picture is divided into 3,000 parts. Because of special magic, everyone can see the person they want to see as long as they think about it. 9 A grades, 1 S grade, and Su Mu's SSS grade have all received significant attention. Seeing the saber-toothed tiger jumping out in front of Su Mu, his homeroom teacher's expression changed immediately, and he lamented, "You're so unlucky." The saber-toothed tiger is a silver-level monster. With high agility and high bite force, it is very easy to cause bleeding effects. Su Mu is only a C-level talent. It's too difficult to deal with this monster. Someone persuaded. Su Mu can pass the secret realm at the SSS level. There must be 2 brushes, don't worry too much. Before he finished speaking, the saber-toothed tiger rushed to Su Mu's side and bit it down. Hurry up and hide. The head teacher and the headmaster all felt their hearts twitch. It's not easy to be bitten by this beast. Although he could quickly use the city return scroll to escape, but the job transfer was delayed. Click. The saber-toothed tiger bit Su Mu's body, and blood splattered immediately. Several people were shocked. Su Mu was bitten. Yes, he escaped. The saber-toothed tiger is still chasing. Su Mu escaped so fast. Several people watched helplessly. Su Mu was bitten, and quickly escaped from the saber-toothed tiger. Dragging his injured arm, he walked through the rocky mountains and forests, and quickly left the battle scene. The saber-toothed tiger snorted twice arrogantly. Seeing that he had already driven the man out, he stopped chasing him. Only a group of spectators were left stunned. The SSS level grading talent that everyone was looking forward to, got injured in less than half a minute. This is too delicious. Su Mu saw the saber-toothed tiger and roared at him. The huge gap made him laugh out loud. The killing secret realm starts at the gold level, and masters and lords abound. Since you're here, let's give it a try. Su Mu didn't move, and took the saber-toothed tiger's bite. -54. Su Mu took another look at his 100,000 level blood volume, and let the saber-toothed tiger survive until tomorrow. And it restores thousands of health points every second, which is completely a perpetual motion machine. Su Mu was also not interested in killing such a weak cat, so she jumped away. By the time he found a quiet cave, the saber-toothed tiger would have been left behind. Su Mu sat in the cave and crossed her legs. Hurry up and absorb the effect of myriad world perception. Try it for a day and a night, don't worry. The time before was too short, and he hadn't absorbed all the rewards. There was a period of interruption in the middle, but because of the blessing of the comprehension potion, it remained intact. Su Mu closed her eyes and directly entered the perception mode. Outside, a group of people looked at each other in blank dismay. This kid, why did you just sit down? They looked at Su Mu with doubts in their hearts. Could you be healing? A teacher asked. I was bitten by a saber-toothed tiger just now, and there must be bleeding, and maybe there is a debuff from the hot disease. I need to rest and heal. Chen Kai frowned. It's just a saber-toothed tiger, although it's a bit difficult to deal with, it's so embarrassing. He looked at the screen, and other students began to encounter monsters. But because of the long-term preparations and the back-and-forth fights, no one has self-healed due to injuries. The so-called SSS score is nothing more than that. Sun Yusheng leaned on the chair, crossing his legs. Dao Yingqi said dissatisfied. It's just a moment of ignorance, it will be fine after the wound is healed. Sun Yusheng chuckled. I'm just waiting for him to escape with a scroll, a useless piece of trash. Principal Dao, will you still protect him? Dao Yingqi snorted and ignored him. But after half an hour, Su Mu was still motionless, her eyes were closed tightly, her face was pale, her forehead was covered with sweat, and she seemed to be struggling. Even the class teacher started to beat his heart, and whispered, Principal, Su Mu will be fine, right? Although his voice was low, Sun had the attribute of Sheng Gao, so he heard it clearly, and immediately sarcastically said, I'm laughing to death, I thought there could be someone in the deserted city with an SSS rating. That's it. The homeroom teacher yelled angrily. Special Envoy Sun, I remember you are also from the deserted city. Sun Yusheng sneered. Do you really take your identity as a barren city person seriously? Don't be ashamed, but proud. I have already switched to Minglu, and I am not the same as you. You. The class teacher was angry. You don't even recognize your hometown, you are not worthy of being a human being. Okay. Dao Yingqi stopped the quarrel, look at other people's performance. Ha, the head teacher snorted and returned to his seat. Sun Yusheng picked out his ears, as if he was determined to win. The SSS score of a dilapidated secret realm made this group of people feel like they found a treasure. Soon, it will be proven that it is just a waste. No matter how hard their mouths are, this group of people will not protect a single trash. The teachers were filled with righteous indignation, but under Dao Yingqi's coercion, they didn't dare to quarrel anymore and focused on the trial. This time the competition is not fierce enough, the first place is only 300 points. It hasn't started yet, the trial day and night are basically in the middle and late stages. That's right, you don't get many points for killing mobs. Many people will choose large targets or bosses. The drops are good and the points are high. Hey, there's a 1000 point show, let me check the information. Zhuang Xiaoyu, wait, she's a level 23 sentinel. How can there be professionals over level 10? Someone saw a special lovelorn and couldn't help screaming. Someone replied. With so many colleges and universities across the country entering the trial continent at the same time, it is normal for special students to appear. Another teacher smiled mysteriously. It's not the same, the practice for the college entrance examination this time is very different from the past. Oh, what's the difference? The teacher said. The Leng family in the northern border sent this generation of Tianzhao to take the college entrance examination, hoping to enter the colleges and universities in the hinterland of the Central Plains. Their family can also use this to develop their influence in the interior. Someone was surprised. Leng's family in the north. Then, the teacher said, other families will not let the Leng family be so relaxed, but in front of the college entrance examination, you can't use dirty tricks. You can only send outstanding juniors from your own family to participate in this trial. As long as they can suppress the Leng family's arrogance, they will be able to be above the Leng family in the future and have enough power to speak. Someone sighed. It's amazing, this kind of undercurrent is turbulent, we ordinary people can't see it at all, and think that we have an S-level talent, which is already good. Immediately, the others sighed. Unfortunately, our S-level is a support, and the achievements in the early stage must not be as good as combat professions. Look at where our S-class is. Several girls form a team to farm monsters in a safe place. As expected of an S-level talent, the boost is strong, and there is no pressure to spawn. I don't know what it will become when I change my job. What about the Leng family's Tianzhao? Are you also spawning monsters? Of course not. The teacher shook his head. These people may have changed jobs, or they may have specific goals, and they won't drop randomly based on their faces like ordinary people. Their goal is to test the Star Spirit Pagoda in the middle of the continent. Xingling Pagoda, someone wondered, isn't that forbidden to enter? Ahem, the teacher said, it's not that they won't be allowed in, but those who are too weak will not be allowed in. The Star Tower has a total of 100 floors, and the difficulty of each floor will increase. If you can continue to challenge, you will get better and better rewards. The monsters in the trial continent provide ordinary people with job transfer letters, but those big forces and big families only target the Star Spirit Pagoda. Tianzhao of the Leng family, and the battles with other families will also be reflected in the ascent of the Star Spirit Pagoda. Whoever climbs to the top will win the Cold War. Someone asked, what will happen if you climb to the 100th floor? The teacher said, impossible, no one has ever achieved it. Someone sighed. Oh, RS level talents, or students with SSS scores, it would be great if they could enter the Star Tower. Dao Yingqi felt upset immediately, and glared at them. Look at it with peace of mind. There are obviously 2 S grades this year, and one is the first SSS grade in history. But now 1 S level is missing, and the SSS level 1 has been healed for a long time. No matter how you look at it, it's overturned. A group of teachers immediately sat upright, feeling very decadent in their hearts. The S-level talent is a support, it can only help other combatants buff. And another guy with an SSS score and a promising future is still sitting there. Sun Yusheng was triumphant. Trash is trash, a bunch of country folks, it's hard to be elegant. The teachers glared at him, but the other party just smiled contemptuously, making it even more itchy. After half a day like this, many students have become professionals. They have obtained the occupation book and successfully transferred to this occupation. Or if you get an unsuitable occupation letter, you can hand it into the school in exchange for the 7 basic occupations. The 7 basic occupations are ranger, warrior, sorcerer, conjurer, priest, beastmaster, villain, basically covering all styles. And at level 30, you can start a second job and learn another one. The first and second occupations can become more powerful second-rank occupations when the occupation fusion is activated at level 60. For example, fighters and wizards can be fused into elemental swordsmen, fighters and priests can be fused into paladins, fighters and fighters can be fused into bloody warriors. Going up to a higher level, you can get another second job, which can then be integrated into a new job. After half a day, many students have successfully changed jobs and started to use professional skills to spawn monsters faster. Because they can finally gain experience after changing professions, they will eventually improve by 2 to 5 levels in the trial secret realm. The head teachers and teachers of each class were relieved to see their familiar faces successfully transferred. Great, 23 people in our class have successfully changed jobs. I also have 21 people here. Congratulations, seeing that there is a hidden class in your class, Pyromancer, you don't have to worry until the second rank. Yeah, the wizard hunter in your class is also good, but I remember that kid, who has always practiced magic, but now he wants to practice physical spells instead. In the beaming atmosphere, the class teacher cast his eyes on Su Mu. Seeing that his eyes were still closed, his face was pale, and his whole body was drenched in sweat, he couldn't help but sighed. Oh, I thought he was an old god, but I didn't expect a saber-toothed tiger to seriously injure him. Sun Yusheng said. So many people have encountered a saber-toothed tiger, why did this trash get seriously injured? It's really useless. The head teacher wanted to fight back, but he couldn't argue with it. The facts are there, what use is there? Someone saw that the atmosphere was not right, and changed the subject. Look, at the Xingling Pagoda, the arrogance of several families met. Everyone looked over and found that it was so. In front of an ordinary 10-meter-high tower, there were several men and women standing. Leng Junyao, I thought you didn't dare to come. A man waved a fan and smiled proudly. The teacher suddenly exclaimed, Huang Tianli, a member of the Huang family in Haicheng. My god, he is already 32nd level. 32, they crush ordinary students of 10th grade in all aspects. With them, the top few in the college entrance examination must be taken. 32 is enough to be a teacher in Wangxi number 1 middle school. Such a person even took part in the college entrance examination practice, competing with a group of 10th level people. Perhaps for them, the college entrance examination itself is of little significance, they just come here to deal with the Leng's family going south from the northern border. But for ordinary people, this is a dimensionality reduction blow. At this time, several other people also said, Leng Junyao, I heard that you have been in the killing secret for a few months, and I don't know what secrets you have discovered. Everyone was kicked out of the secret today, I don't know if you are there. The Leng family is nothing more than that. Any one of us present can easily crush you. I'm very happy to defeat you head on. Not only do I want to thwart your thoughts of going south, even the northern gate will be mine sooner or later. On the other side of them, Leng Junyao was dressed in Xingyi, with a cold and arrogant demeanor, she didn't pay attention to these words at all. The teachers were stunned, everyone here is a big shot. Chu Chunggao, a level 28 destroyer, has such a strong evil spirit, I feel full of blood just by looking at it. That's Hua Nianwei from the Hua family in Chongqing. Their family has suppressed the insect nest for 100 years, and the strong have never stopped, so they even sent someone here. Who is the other person? The name is very strange. Which family? Is that Leng Junyao from the Leng family? Why is it only level 10? The teachers all saw Leng Jiadianjiao, AIC, beautiful girl. Can monitor magic feedback, she is only level 10, and her profession is Snow Maiden. Such a low level is really puzzling. The Leng family sent a girl of level 10, how can they fight against those big families? I don't know, they seem to be going in. Sure enough, in front of the Star Tower, the genius of the Huang family, Huang Tianli said arrogantly, how about this, let's form a team together and enter the Star Tower. Now there are 5 people in total. After a while, each of them will divide the monsters into 5 parts according to their abilities, and each will kill his own part. Boss, let's do it together, everyone will talk about the final contribution. Whoever can't bear it, just say it, and we will help, but the loser, please leave obediently. Of course, if it's our sister Leng, you can watch from the sidelines and share your silver equipment at the end, it's not impossible, ha 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 ha. Several people around also laughed, and their words were full of sarcasm. Although these families competed with each other, under the invasion of the powerful northern family, they had to connect with each other. Leng Junyao didn't refuse either. Yes. A group of people divided their positions and stepped into the Star Spirit Pagoda. Entering it, the scene is very different. The first floor, which is obviously indoors, suddenly appeared in a desert. Surrounded by endless poisonous snakes, crocodiles, insects and ants. Massacre the city with the axe. Chu Chunggao used the skill of the destroyer, threw the giant axe behind his back, and immediately emptied a large area of poisonous insects. Dense attack. Huang Tianli smiled slightly, raised his right hand towards the sky, and suddenly a rain of arrows fell out of thin air. Hee, I've finished cleaning up here. Hua Nianwei also smiled easily, flicked her fingers, and a group of pythons and crocodiles began to kill each other. The last person praised. As expected of the Hua family who control insects, you are taking advantage of this scene. And Leng Junyao also waved his sleeves, and a piece of ice crystal appeared around him, starting to freeze the poison. Soon, she also cleaned up most of the poison, and it didn't look like much effort. It's just that from the perspective of overall efficiency, it is still a little worse than others. The teachers of Wangxi No. 1 middle school were stunned. So strong. The scores of these people skyrocketed to 1,000 in an instant, although there is still a lot of gap from the first 50,000. But everyone knows that catching up is only a matter of time. The monsters in the Spirit Tower are dense, and the higher you go, the higher the score. It seems that the number 1 scholar will come out of these few people. A teacher felt sorry for him. These arrogances are not in the same dimension as our students at all. They even felt that using their identity as teachers to confront these people would not lead to good results. Dao Yingqi was about to sigh when he heard the surveillance personnel exclaim, "Principal, something has happened. There have been several student deaths." This exclamation immediately attracted the attention of many people. Dao Yingqi pressed his palm. "Calm down, there will be casualties in the trial, what's going on?" The monitoring personnel said anxiously. "Just now I thought it was an ordinary casualty, but the situation is different now. There is a team that wiped out the whole group, but none of them activated the scroll to return to the city. Look, someone lost contact again." On the screen, the picture representing a student suddenly turned gray. Not only did the students die, but even the monitoring magic also failed. "What about playback?" Dao Yingqi asked. The surveillance personnel looked pale. "I tried, but there is no playback. The surveillance magic has been invaded, could it be someone intruding?" "Absolutely impossible," Dao Yingqi said. "The space in the trial continent is locked by the strong, let alone outsiders, we can only enter through the gate of the secret realm." The monitoring staff seemed to hear something, and their pupils shrank immediately. There have been casualties again. Now 871 students have died in the All Yan League, and are no. 1 middle school in the deserted city has died, 27 people. So many. Dao Yingqi also realized the seriousness of the matter, and he frowned, "Send someone in and warn everyone with loudspeaker magic." A teacher took the order and immediately went downstairs to the gate of the secret realm. But just as he stepped into the gate of the secret realm, his complexion suddenly changed, and he roared angrily, "Something went wrong." Swish! The teacher was instantly torn into pieces by the rotating door of the secret realm, and his whole body was reduced to thousands of dollars, and he was thrown to the ground. Dao Yingqi's pupils shrank, and his whole body exuded a huge aura. He directly smashed through the glass curtain wall and jumped off the square. "Everyone, don't move, don't leave, stay away from the gate of the secret realm," he roared angrily, and immediately stopped the panicked staff around him. In the observation room upstairs, everyone also went downstairs one after another. Only Sun Yusheng was at the end, showing a look of great interest. Minister of Internal Affairs Chen Kai frowned. "What's going on?" A group of people watched the sudden incident, shocked and anxious. Dao Yingqi beckoned, asked someone to bring a rabbit, and threw it towards the gate of the secret realm. Swish! The rabbit was smashed to pieces in an instant, and became a bloody mess with the teacher on the ground. The gate of the secret realm has become the gate of death. The people around suddenly felt a tumbling in their stomachs, and panic and nausea rushed into their hearts. Dao Yingqi gritted his teeth. Something happened. Trial continent, something went wrong. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.